Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside Sailtrek SOC. My name is Ria. I am your host, and I'm very pleased to welcome Tess Verheij. She is from the Art Craft Cafe in Sint Maartin. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you.
So we had you on previous for Inside Secrets of the Caribbean. And at that time, this is about, I don't know, 9 months ago. And the situation was quite a bit different. You know, things were up in the air. You weren't sure what was going on in the Caribbean at that time. Tell us what's going on with you right now. How have you moved on and how have you pivoted and changed in the Caribbean where you are?
So I think after we spoke, I started a collaboration with another artist to start a small gallery. So we work together. I think that's the important thing to do at the moment is to do collaborations, to do it not by yourself anymore, especially here in the Caribbean, because we just don't have enough finances, income coming in to work by yourself and to eat from it as well. So I started off November last year. So we're nearly on a year now. And I must say it's been quite good. We still managed to get some customers inside of the gallery. And I started back my classes, which was really small in the beginning, but it starts to starts to get better and better each day. So in November, I will finish my contract where I'm at the moment with my landlord. And I'm actually having really big goal set for myself to even start a bigger collaboration with well-known artists on the island. We're gonna do a collaboration with at least 7 artists.
Wow.
Yes, and we're gonna start a bigger gallery, and then we go from there. So it's we have to move on. In the meantime, I've been busy building my website as well, which is online now finally, and I encountered a couple of problems, especially with transportation, with the export of the island, and also with payments. And finally, after 8 months, can you imagine 8 months, I managed to get a CXP payment on my internet site. So I can receive payments now international as well. So you.
Well, and I can imagine, I mean, with everything shut down, because I think, the last time we spoke, you do rely on sort of foot traffic and people coming in and people taking a look around, as you said, and purchasing items while in the shop or in the gallery. Now that virtually shut down because, of course, the islands were shut down.
Yeah.
Did you open up again in the past few months? Have you seen more freedom of movement? Have you seen more tourists come in? Has the island started to sort of recoup to a certain degree?
Yeah, we were really low on the COVID numbers for a long period. I think also because on an island like here, you're mostly outside, so the transition to others is less, than when you're inside in an office space or, so we've been really good for long periods. Although since a month, the Delta variant is on the island and we see the numbers rising. So we were looking at a really good low season, which is at the moment it's August, September, and then a little bit in October and November, it should start picking up again. But because, people still want to travel, we had a really good rate coming in. But now with us being in code red, people start to cancel again their trips. So we're back to where we were. But I see. I trust in that it will get better.
Well, explain to us what that means, code red, for you there. Are you seeing lockdown measures of any sort? Are you seeing, mandatory mask wear? What exactly does this mean for you on the island?
So we have mandatory mask and all the time. We don't. We have to keep our mask on. That's been since long time, since actually the first cases of. So that never. We never had a breakdown of that mandatory rule. Let me put it that way. Um, um, what you can see is at the moment they start putting the nightlife back again to 11 o'clock, which was open for a long period, and now they're saying, well, COVID rise when when they drink too much.
Well, I guess,
So,
I mean, there could be some, I think that's pretty much straight across the face of the planet right now.
yeah.
They are closing down because I think people lose we know people lose their inhibitions when they've had a few to drink. So
Yeah.
the idea that that you have to have that social distancing and you have a few drinks and all of a sudden, well, that goes out the window because you forgot about it, or you just, as you say, as I've said, you lose your inhibitions.
Yes.
Perhaps that is the reason why.
People start to hug up to each other and forget everything about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's at the moment, that's the only kind of, it's not even a lockdown, but there's hours that going. And then we have as well where they start the QR code. So if you want to go into a club, you need to carry your QR code, and the QR code is either you're vaccinated or you do your CPR test, and then you're allowed to be in a club. Or I think maybe it goes for a restaurant as well, but I'm not sure about that.
So you have to have the PCR test. Is it an antigen test or the PCR test?
PCR test.
Okay, so they have to do the full PCR test. Are they charging for it there? I mean, I know that other countries, for example, in Spain, you've got the antigen test is 30 euros and then the PCR test is 75 euros. I mean, that seems quite exorbitant if you're actually having to provide that test every time you go into a restaurant or into a pub.
No, it's for free for the people that live here. So you can just go to the place where they test, and they do a free testing. So that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't imagine.
It looks like things are okay, and even though you have to be careful, and even though people are definitely aware that this strain has reached the island, you're not bound to your homes and you can't socialize and you can't go out. You literally do still have freedom of movement.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't like to be in big crowds. I mean, if you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, it doesn't really matter because you can still pass it on. I think we all have to be very aware that you take your precautions towards your surrounding, the other people that you're with. So I'm not so much into the big crowds, but I do go out, but I take my measurements and I take my precautions and just make sure that everybody is safe.
So, I mean, now is your low season, as you mentioned. Yeah. Do you see about the same number of people that you would normally see in a low season, or is that number a little bit less than you would normally see in your low season?
I would say it's a little less. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I mean, are the prices, what are the prices like? Because I know that in some areas, what they're saying is that the minute the restaurants and bars started opening up, the prices skyrocketed because they were trying to make up for all the money and stuff lost during the season. But other places are saying everything is half the price that it used to be because they are desperate for people to come. Now, I mean, if you're somebody that is, not afraid to take the chance and get on an airplane and head over to the Caribbean, what can you expect once you get there as far as pricing goes?
It's exactly the same. There's no changes. There's definitely no changes. What we can see for the local people, that there is a little bit of a higher rate on your food in the supermarket. Right. We do see a little increase in that. But overall in the restaurants, I don't see any huge changes, or no, definitely not. No. So everybody can come to Sint Maartin.
Well, and I mean, I think part of the increase in cost with food I mean, not only are you on an island, but as well, we have seen some issues with shipping straight,
Yes.
all across the planet. So, that does have a bearing. And it's not just, I would imagine, it's not just St. Maartin, it is elsewhere in the world as well. So we are all looking at a slight increase in the products that are brought from elsewhere.
Definitely.
So that's to be expected. So how is the healthcare system coping with this new variant there?
At the moment, we have 15 hospitalized, which sounds not that bad, but it comes and goes. Sometimes we have 2 deaths in one day. Sometimes we have 1 death. But August has been extremely. I think we doubled our rate of deaths. So, but the hospital itself has a good facility to help the people that turn into the hospital or have to be treated in the hospital. Yes. Yeah.
Well, and what is the weather like there right now? Like, is it still warm and tropical and
it's boiling hot?
Yeah.
It's really hot. Yeah. There's a couple of storms passing as well. So what you notice is that there's no wind. Everything just gets sucked away. So it's pretty hot. Yeah.
And this season, I mean, it's traditional that this time of year we start to see hurricanes within the Caribbean. Yeah. Is there any tropical storm warnings, any hurricane warnings heading your way, or do you think this may be a season where you've been given a bit of a reprieve as a result of the past year and a half or 2 years?
I just hope so, but they are rolling off the coast of Africa, so yeah. I just keep my fingers crossed. I just saw in the news that there's one big one that went up to Louisiana, which is it's a sad story. If you get hit by a hurricane like that, it's I don't think we can deal with that extra burden load on it's definitely that's not going to help us at all.
No, because what was the last one that really impacted you?
We had Irma in 2017, which was a category 5 actually. I'm a survivor of the worst hurricane ever.
And you were directly in the path.
Yeah. We had the eye right over us. Yeah. It was that was horrible. Yeah.
So I guess you've had enough for this decade, and it's time to, have a bit of a relax and maybe start enjoying life for a bit before anything is more is handed to you. Yeah.
I'm just always glad, September is my birth month, but I'm always glad when September is passing, it's, I always can breathe when it turns to October. I feel like I can breathe again. So this month is extra tense for us, for everybody here on the island.
So October, for those that are looking to come to the Caribbean, October, the prices are still reasonable because it's not considered high season at the beginning of October. So the prices are still reasonably well. There's still not a lot of people there. So October really would be prime time for somebody to come over to the Caribbean just to enjoy and relax.
Yeah, October, November, I would definitely, if you want to move or you want to travel, it's so safe over here, because it's so much, the outdoor life is so big, you're never really inside. So the restaurant as well, you can sit outside, you can take your social distancing and have a great time. You can go to the beach. It's beautiful, it's still beautiful. Our island is beautiful.
Well, Tess, you know what? I will make sure if you could send me all of the information of what you're up to now, and as well, keep us up to date because it's the end of November that you're going to be signing on with 7 other artists and starting up this grand big gallery. Keep us up to date because I would love to share with the viewers, this new gallery with all these amazing people. I have a feeling this next year is going to be your year.
I hope so. It's been good anyway, but it would be good to see a little bit of the kind of normal life coming back again, and that would be really good. It would be really and I look forward to work with all these different artists because they all have a complete different style. So when you enter the gallery, it would be just an oasis of Caribbean style, island style, but especially the colors. I mean, yeah, if you like colors, then it's definitely worth visiting.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the colors that come out of the Caribbean are stunning, you know,
Yeah.
the combination, and I've seen some of your work as well, and the colors are fascinating. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to make sure to provide all those links, and I encourage the viewers out there to definitely go follow, like, and keep your eyes on what's coming up next, because it sounds pretty exciting.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I've got
keep
my
you
fingers
updated.
and toes and everything else crossed that September comes and goes without a whisper.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And Tess, please do keep us up to date. I thank you ever so much for your time, and I'm really glad to see, I have to say, you are looking a lot happier this time than you were last time, and I'm really
Yes,
pleased to see that.
thank you. Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Once again, you have been listening to Inside Sailtrek SOC. Our guest has been Tess Verheij from the Art Craft Cafe. We'll provide all of our information below this interview when it airs. I thank you for tuning in. My name is Ria. I am your host. We'll see you again next week.